Well, hello, everybody. Hello. I think some of you have just come over from Karen. And if you are jumping on the hop from me, don't forget to go back and check out all the people before me. So this is what we're making. Now, this is a pink one, but we're going to make a purple one together. And if there's time, I've even pulled stuff to make a teal one because it does go pretty quick. So this is what I would call a fast mix media. That's my way of saying it. Plus, I've kind of pre-prepped a few things that speed up the process a bit. Also, it's Erin Reed, in case you haven't figured that out. If you have not checked out the video from last week was all about cards. This is the cards, or these are the cards that we made. I did a simple version and I did a fancy version. If you guys notice, the flower is the same. I'm using kind of the same products. So therefore, I'm kind of showing you can use the same products to do a lot of different projects. You don't have to just be like, oh, I only can buy that and use it for one thing. Yeah, you can use it for all kinds of stuff. So I'm kind of showing. So go back, check out the video from last week. If you want to leave a comment on that, it's still a chance to win some of the amazing products that we're working with Little Birdie Crafts. They're one of the sponsors. And if you leave a comment on this video after it's gone live, it's another chance. So that's 2 chances right there to win some more products from Little Birdie. And then we'll be having a live winner as we're going along. My son, Morgan, is going to help us moderate again. So woohoo! Morgan is here. Okay, so we're making this little cute thing. So one of my favorite things to do is to take an object, and this is what the object was to begin with. I love finding objects that we normally would put in the trash or maybe put in the recycle and keep it and figure out a way to change it from one thing to another. So this was like, I had a whole bunch of little fruit pouch things in there, right? I took off the plastic outer coating, and so I just snipped it off. So I just kind of snipped it off, and it left this container right here. Excuse me. I got some comments that are not going through. I don't know why. Morgan, if you see some comments are from people that you know, awesome. You're on it. You're on it. By Tiffany. Right. So big props to Tiffany. Thank you guys so much, or thank Tiffany so much for organizing all of this, and to all the amazing sponsors who were part of this cool event. Yay. All right. So what I've done is I've taken this container, I've completely cleaned it off by taking the wrapper off. I mean, that's as hard as it gets. And as you can tell, I still left the inside, the way it is. So you could use this for all different kinds of stuff. Now, the first thing I did, and I went ahead and redid this version, is I went ahead and just put a layer of gesso on there. Gesso, I call it gesso. So I went ahead and put a layer of gesso, and if you can tell, it's still not 100% coated. It's enough to get it started. So the next step, and I'm just going to move this little guy off to the side. The next step is to just take some twine, and this is what's going to give us our ridges here. Right? So we want to get some cool texture on this thing. So we are going to go through and we're going to add some twine. I'm just kind of pulling off a bunch, and I'm going to start off by just gluing it in one place. So I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac because it really does stick everything to everything. Oh, thank you so much, Tiffany. That was so sweet of you.
Well, she gave me $2.
She did. Isn't that awesome? Tiffany rocks.
Yeah, she does.
Is there any comments or questions so far, Morgan?
No.
I can't.
One was gesso sticks to plastic.
Yes, gesso. Gesso sticks to plastic. Gesso, I mean, as you can tell, it's not on there. I mean, I could probably go through, I can scratch it off, but we're going to add some more layers to this. As long as you don't sit there and go, you'll be pretty good. All right, so I put some glue on here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the top a couple of times to the lid. Now, for these ones, I don't think I'm going to do the fabric because it just doesn't stick very well. I think I'm going to skip that and just do the twine up here a bunch of rounds, and we might add some more twine as it goes along. So I'm just doing the top 3 or 4 times here, really kind of getting it going, and then we're just going to start wrapping. Was there something else, Morgan?
Nope.
You're giggling. And this is just regular old twine. I mean, you can get a giant bundle of this, and you can go around as many times. I like to crisscross it, have fun with it. And then I'm going to come back to where I started my glue and kind of go back up with my glue again at the top so it sticks, and then snip that off. So now we've taken our container, and we can move this off the side. We've taken our container. So I got all my little pieces. I thought I had everything kind of shoved off to the side.
Ooh.
Here we go. Now I have all my little pieces, and Cool, right?
I think I found something that will help you.
Mm.
Well, someone said if you rough it up with a little sandpaper, it'll stick even better.
You don't totally could. I'm just being lazy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our gesso again and repaint the whole thing. So I only did one layer of it, but yeah, I do, because we're going to do a purplish layered one first. And if there's time, we're going to do a teal one. I've already pulled all supplies for both. So we'll see how much time. So this is technically going to be for the teal one. And then I'm going to let this just kind of sit off to the side while we jump in. And I've already done and made a version of this that we're going to go ahead and jump in and start adding colors to that. So I want a very white look to this. So I'm not going to worry about making this 100% saturated with color. But I just love being able to take something that you normally be like, nah, it's trash. And like, ooh, I can make that cool. So I'll alter all kinds of stuff. Do you guys have things that you'd like to alter a specific object?
There was a question of what type of gesso are you using?
I'm using the gesso from, here, let me flip my lid over, from Little Birdie. Oops, I just got some on there. So this is from Little Birdie. It's actually a very liquid gesso, meaning it's very fluid. There's some that are a lot thicker. So this is a very thin gesso, but you could definitely go for a thicker one. I've used all different brands from lots of companies. I've used Prima, I've used Liquitex, I've used Crafters Workshop, I've used lots of different gesso, Golden. I personally don't have an opinion about which one I like better. Whatever is a jar that I have open and I need to use, then I will use it, is kind of my thought process on that. So depending on how many layers you want to put on here, I still want to see a little bit of the texture of my twine here. So I'm not going to go super crazy in terms of trying to make sure that every little inch is covered. If you wanted to do another coat on top of this, so that would give you 3 coats in the jar, 2 coats on the twine, you could totally do that. And if you notice, I'm just kind of plopping this on because I'm just going to let this air dry for a while. And so the one that I did that we're going to work with that's already dried, I think it was drying for about an hour now. And then I made this guy last night. So, oops. Which is a little front heavy, but not bad. And I can put like all kinds of cool stuff. You could put your markers in there, your pens in there, paint brushes in there, you know. I don't know if I would go as far as putting food back in there because I've covered it up with a bunch of stuff, but I would definitely put
like the little, you know,
oh, like put, yeah, like decorative. Take the food packets out. They're like drink packets, like Kool-Aid, but they're not. They're just like, you know, Crystal Light or whatever. But HEB is our grocery store that's local around here. Putting that in there. All right, so that's pretty well coated now. It looks like a giant mummy. And I'm just going to set that off to the side and let that dry. And we're going to come in with what? Oh, I know. My daughter's like, your hands are all painty. I'm like, well, yeah, that's part of the fun, right?
Part of the experience.
It's part of the experience. It is. All right, I am just going to kind of wipe off a little bit. I have a super thick crafting mat down right now.
So
must be a US thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the containers?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of plastic around here. So, yeah. I mean, yes, I would normally recycle these things, but I was looking at them going, that's kind of a cool thing to kind of play around with. Okay, so now we're going to add some color. Now, I've already done the pinky one. This is my little water jar to clean off. And I've just got a paper towel off to the side that I'm kind of wiping my brush off. Now, for the pink one, what I did for my 2 colors, and here you can kind of see them, is I just took some spray and I took a pink paint and whoops, seriously, I cannot do this. I put them in my little paint jar. And so here's the lighter, the bright one. I watered it down and I actually added some of those light pink to that. And then here's the light pink watered down. For the purple one, I took these 2. These are both just folk art paints. I mean, I don't think necessarily with mixed media, you have to do super fancy stuff. I know that there's some amazing products out there, but I just use what I have on hand. I just scrounge around and see what I can find. So we're going to use a light lavender, and then this one is blue violet flash. And so I have put them in here, and I probably need to add a little bit more water because I did this a little while ago. So here's the blue violet flash, and it actually has like an iridescent color to it. And then here is the light lavender. It's a little bit off color. So we're going to start with the lighter We're going to start with the darker one first, and it's very watery. That's what I want. And we're just going to come in and just kind of hit some spots along here. Just kind of let it water and get in here. Don't try and cover all of it with the darker because we want to have some in with the lighter. So I'm going for I stuck with one color on this. You could totally go with a couple of different colors, but that's not the look I was going for. And then a little bit more here. And if it drips and does its thing. Now I'm going to switch over and do some of the lighter colors. Bring in a lighter tone. And yeah, I'll do them at the same time. Some people are like, no, only one color at a time. You know, the cool thing I like about doing mixed media is that there's no wrong way to do it. There's no precision. It's just kind of have some fun, mix it up, get in there, get messy. Just kind of play. I'm not worried about also getting on top of the rope here or the twine because we're going to be putting a wax on top of that. So that's going to have this really pretty, I have this antique gold wax we're going to be adding to get those colors. Yeah, Morgan, what's up?
So if you don't have paint, could you use spray? Sure.
The first one, I used a color splash spray because it was the color that I liked. So if you want to use a watered down, I had the paints on hand. I was looking at them, I'm like, those colors work. We're going to grab that. So you can also use your paints. Now, one thing I'm going to do really fast and kind of weird is I don't want it really too thick. So just kind of come in, lighten it up. And then we're going to heat set this real fast. Have my super, super old heat gun. Oh my God, this thing is ancient. It's going to get a little loud. I'm so sorry, but you know what? That's part of mixed media. All right, so I don't know if you guys can hear me over top of the gun. Huh? Do what? I know what? I inherited this from my mother-in-law actually, and it's old. It's mean, but it works. Yeah, I did. She wasn't using it, and I said, "Can I have it?" And I'll tell you what, it's a really old Marvy heat gun. It's awesome. Now, one thing I would love is I will get in here and really make my paint bubble and blister. One second, Morgan. I really want my paint to bubble and blister. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it starts kind of bubbling and really getting all blistery. I love that look. Some people are like, no, you're you know what? It's your art. Make it the way you want it to and decide how you want it to look. All right, I'm just going to finish. One sec. I can't hear you very well, honey. I'm sorry. Let me finish. The gun's probably really loud on my end. So give me a second. Okay, yes, Morgan. Now that I'm done blasting my ears.
The video's buffering right now.
Oh no.
Like for me as well.
It's buffering for you.
Not the comments, but the actual video.
My video is not lining up right now.
No, if you refresh it, it's good.
So if you refresh, it's better?
Yeah.
Can you say that? Can you type that?
Oh, someone already did.
Oh, okay.
Refresh and it'll come back.
All right. Is it doing good better now? I mean, problem with everybody being home right now because there's social distancing and stuff is that we're having a hard time. Everybody's on their internet, so it's all slow. That light's a little bit better now. I don't know if you guys can see that a little bit better. Yeah, internet is definitely on overload for sure. And I've noticed today it's even worse. You figure that it doesn't matter from weekday. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, so now that I've done this, and you can definitely see there's some color to it. I feel very like washed out right now. I don't know why. I think YouTube is definitely getting overloaded. Oh, sorry, I just hit my camera. So I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to take a little bit of my gesso on my fingertip and I'm going to rub it. I like getting my hands dirty. I'm a very tactile person when it comes to doing my art. And I'm going to come in, dip, 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 and just kind of go over and giving kind of a softer look to where I painted. I really want to have kind of a whitish look to this. So I get my fingers in there again. So I just want to have it kind of hint, kind of go into little crevices, kind of cover it up. Bless you, Morgan.
Thank you.
He sneezed in case you didn't hear that. So I'm just coming in. I'm trying not to do it too thick. I'll kind of rub my fingers and make sure that it's not super thick. And just kind of, you can go in the lid and do it too. If this concept of what I'm doing right here, you're like, oh my God, she's, I know some people are like mixed media. Oh yeah, a chance to get your fingers dirty. And then some people are a clean mixed media person. I think it all depends on the person. It's whatever strikes your fancy on that. All right, so I'm trying to kind of like get rid of the harshness of the color, but I want hints of the color. And so there it is. So I like it kind of up against the ropes and the twines, but not super, super bright.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Someone said best part of using your fingers is rubbing the media off when it dries.
Yeah, I mean, there's so, yeah, it's kind of like an exfoliation. All right, I'm going to do a little more heat because then we're going to add our wax. I didn't add that much, but should be okay in terms of color. Like, I don't have a ton on there. This shouldn't take too long. All right, what?
This song is really good.
All right, so what we're going to do right now, my son's listening to music while we're doing this. So what we're going to do right now is I have this metallic wax, and this is an antique gold. And again, some people use brushes. I get my fingers in there, and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to start hitting. And I just start rubbing on there and really kind of hitting all the edges. I'm not super picky. I'm trying to get the ropes. So I want the ropes to definitely pick up. I want to kind of hit this space down here. Oh, there's a little something that kind of happened right there. Really come in and get all that goodness. Now, I'm not going to use the back side of this jar. I'm kind of leave it. So that's totally cool. Meaning that I didn't decorate the back side of it. So, and truthfully, with the one that I've already done, I did probably the process you just saw with the gesso, with the color, with the paint. I probably did like 4 times because I'm like, it's too dark. It's too light. And so I played around with it. You could do this endlessly and going lighter and darker and going, oh, it doesn't have enough purple in it. Oh, it needs more, of the bronze in it. You could really kind of have fun with it. This waxy stuff smells good. Anybody else? There's certain products you're like, that smells good. And then there's certain products I'm like, ugh, it smells bad. It all depends on the product, let me tell you. I don't know, there's some things that you're like, yes, that smells good. See, I'm really liking that. There's a dark purple band right in here. I'm loving that dark purple band in there. So I almost want to kind of get some more of that dark purple kind of in the crevices. So I might come in and do a little bit more of a layer. So now we've got some gold. It's a little bit light here. And I have to decide what I want to have as my front. So do I want to have this be my front, or do I want this I think I want this to be my front. I like this side. So again, I'm going for a very white look. I know some of the mixed medias, you like it dark. It really is a personal preference on that. So I'm going to add a tiny bit more of the dark on a couple of the bands here, just kind of going up against the rope or the twine, really kind of bringing in some more of that color and lining in a little more of the light, just like the purple in there. Any other comments or questions? Are they all just kind of chatting in themselves?
Well, a person commented, I cloned the vanilla smells.
You what?
A person commented, I called the vanilla smells.
Vanilla smells?
Vanilla smells.
Ah.
Oh, here's a question. How do you decide what project you'll do on these live events?
So I started with a product, and I had a series of products that I wanted to work with. And then from that, okay, so for the cards, the ones I did last week, I was like, I'm going to make cards, and I had all these beautiful flowers. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to make something with flowers on it. And so pretty cards. And then I just kind of played around with it until I came up with the design that I wanted. For this project, I had these containers, and I had 4 of them. So I was like, okay, well, if I mess one up, or I can have one that's done, that's completed, I definitely have another container. What products do I have that I could do 1 to 2 to 3 of them, depending on how fast we were doing them? And then I could but it still was mixed media. And this had been sitting, waiting for me to do for probably a couple of months, 2-3 months. And at the same time, then Tiffany said, hey, we're doing this event. And she had both the card making and then the mixed media one. I was like, I know exactly what I can do for that. And so that's where that came from. So and then I just played. I mean, last night I just sat around and played, and I pulled a whole bunch of stuff out. You're going to see my little collection of bits and bobs we're going to be adding to this in a minute. Okay, just drying this up a little bit. My daughter's standing next to me like she wants to talk to me. What's up, Gavin? Talk to me. Never fails. There's actually 2 parents home, and one parent's busy. Who do they still come to? The one parent that's busy.
A person asked,
Go figure.
how often do you do lives?
I do a live every Wednesday. Almost every Wednesday. The past couple of Wednesdays, I have not done a live because there's been an event that I was a part of and it needed to be a recorded video. But I pretty much do a live card making Wednesday. Almost. So this upcoming Wednesday will be a live card making Wednesday. Might be a little crazy because all the kids are home, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do our best here. Okay. Previous to starting this video, let me just clean off my paintbrush here real fast so it doesn't get gross, because we're going to probably come back and use this again. I went through and I put some gesso on a couple of, and you can see the original color. I kind of like it, but I just played around with it. And then I had a metal, and you can see the original color. Just add a little bit, and then a key. Part of the reason why I did that is because none of these were the same color, and I definitely want this antique bronzy goldy look, and some of these were silver. So I just went ahead and put a little gesso on them to whiten them out, and then we can add this color back on, the wax back on when we're done. So other little fun things I have, and we're going to pull my little container over. I feel like this is pretty close to done. I definitely want it white. I might tweak it and add some more color once I've added my layers on. I went in and added more bright pinks to this after it was done. Everything's looking really washed out on my camera right now. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of getting off balance. Yes, Morgan.
2 questions. One, are your birds from Little Birdie?
Are my what?
Birds from Little Birdie.
Birds.
Your paint.
The paint.
Is it from Little Birdie?
No, the paint I'm using is from Folk Art. This is all plaid. That's all the paint that I'm using. Truthfully, so what I've used from Little Birdie so far has been, I use this spray on here. The flowers will be from them. The gesso is from them. The wax is from them. All of these little bits and a lot of the little bits that you're seeing in here are just from my stash. I have no clue. Like, I think some of these beads, a friend of mine stopped doing jewelry and she's like, I have all these beads. I'm like, awesome. I'll take them. So what I have here, let me kind of rearrange a couple things to get some stuff out of the way. So here I have all my purples. So all of these flowers in here are from Little Birdie, but I also had this little small purple ones that I threw in there. And so I'm going to start building. Now these chipboard pieces also came from Little Birdie, and I think we're going to flip it. So I took one of the circles, and let me find that chipboard here. So I took this and I cut it in half, as you can tell, like this came from here. And for this one, I had it going this direction. So we'll just reverse it. We'll line it up from the other side because I want it to kind of come out. So cut your chipboard in half, play around with it, have fun with it. And I'm going to be using my fabric tack glue for all of this stuff as well. So what I'm going to do, oh, and I have 2 other pieces here. So these are already primed and ready to go. So here you can see these 2 chipboards, and we're just going to be adding some wax to them. If you wanted to put gesso on them too, you totally could, but you don't have to. This one I already did because I had painted it pink. I was playing around with doing this version, and I had it all painted pink, and then I went back and so we're going to play around with that a bit too. So just going to glue 2 sides. Now we're going to start building, adding all of our decorations on here. So this is what I call a fast mixed media, because if you tend to leave it more white than trying to saturate the entire thing with color, it goes pretty quick. All right, so I'm totally just going to mimic what I have for this, just in the opposite direction. Yes, Morgan.
So actually, Tiffany said, I have no idea Little Birdie makes so many products.
They do. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They have a ton of different stuff. All right, I'm going to put my big flower in the center. Now, the other thing I like about using a wet glue, you could also use, I know a lot of people use like a modeling paste or something to put things down. You could do that as well. I think whatever you're comfortable with and whatever is your thing, go with it. So again, I'm doing more of a purpley theme because there was lots of purple that was in this. And I want to put my key lock up here. So I'm just putting crap down. I think that's the best way. It's funny when it comes to mixed media. It's a lot of just place the crap down. Where do you want to put it? How do you want to layer it? I know it's not crap, but it's just kind of how I think of it. So it's just lots and lots of layers here. I have these cool hinges, and I thought they would, at first I was like, I'm going to layer them in there. I was like, nah, it looked really cool as like a hinge. So we're actually going to hinge this on the side of the container. So find a spot and stick it on as a hinge. And just layer it on there. So just a little something, kind of like a little steampunky kind of in the middle of all of it. And then I have another one. Sorry, there's a door opening, children coming in from outside. So another little hinge, stick this one, kind of nestle this in here. There we go. So it's just lots of building at this point. Very kind of shabby chic building. I definitely want to add this guy in here. Where am I going to put him? Now, I didn't like the green in there, so I'm going to pull the green off. I should have done that prior to the video. That's okay. Here we go. So let's pull it off. And let's nestle this one in here. All my kids are standing around my son, who's the three of my kids are standing around the son, who's the moderator, and they're all kind of reading and seeing what's going on and trying to figure out what's happening. Okay, so another thing I'm doing is I'm putting here, this one goes this way. So I also have my key. So my key is going to come down here, and then I'm going to use another twine and have a bow. So another piece. So it's kind of like an homage back to the twine and bringing a little bit that in. So I'm going to make myself a bow. I'm not recreating the wheel here. I'm totally kind of mimicking the same project I already made for you guys. Want to say hi, Brandon? No. Brandon's like, I'm not saying hi. Not my thing. So again, I'm going to build up, adding some more layers of glue here. Probably way more glue than I need, but I want room to groove and have everything have a chance to kind of sit and rest and have something. And then you can always add the layers in. So I need to add a little bit more glue to my key. I've been collecting some of these bits and bobs, like the keys and the metal pieces, the hinges. I don't even know how old any of that stuff is. I think we're all hoarders. So at this point, when it comes to crafting anyway. So it's the perfect time to get out your supplies you've been hoarding and start creating, because what else are you going to do right now? So I got my key in there. I'm going to add another flower for this. I definitely want to add some more layers. Oh, I'm going to do, I don't have that one. We'll do this one. That one looks pretty. It's a little on the blue side, but it's still pretty. So I'm definitely hitting more purples more than pinks here, because they're kind of in the one package. So this is one of the packages of the flowers. So it had the colors. So I'm pulling all the colors. And there was another flower packet, of which I don't have because I've already opened it up, but it had all the rest of the colors in it, as you see. All right, now I'm going to add in some of my beads. Now the beads, oh, I need some more flowers up there. Turn it around so I can see it from a different angle. I don't want to have, there's a gap here where I can see a color. So I don't like putting, like these two colors are identical and weird. I like having different colors of flowers at different spots. I don't want them to be all identical next to each other. So we'll put this little rosette there. And I'll probably stuff some more flowers in after I put some of the beads in. Just building. Take kind of like a step back. I hold it up and go, do I like the look of that, or does that need more? But I know I want to add some beads. So I've got these really cool droplet things that I found a long time ago. Look at these. These are cool. And so I'm just going to kind of nestle one of those in where, yeah, we're going to put it right here. So kind of like it's dropping out of here. And there's no wrong way to do any of this. I'm going to drop my key down a tiny bit. So because I have a liquid glue, I've got a little bit of wiggle room. Actually, I think I might try and drop this from here. I don't know, I play around sometimes. I'm like, does it look better there? Does it look better here? Maybe if I move the key over a tiny bit, I feel like I'm running out of space right there. If I move my key over, I can put the drop. There we go. That's better. Place the drop there. Which means I need a flower there because I've unearthed. No, I'll just shift it down. But I want another flower there. Oh, I'm going to do one of the tiny ones now. I need to grab my nicer cutters for all my wires. Any comments or questions, Mark?
Nope.
They're all chatting amongst themselves. So what are you guys doing to keep yourselves busy right now? Are you watching a lot more YouTube? Are you creating more? Are you actually getting crafty? Are you getting into the mode of creation?
Can I say what I'm doing?
What are you doing, Morgan?
I'm going to watch the Royal Extended Edition.
So he's already on the first movie. So now I'm going to add some.
Done.
You already finished the first movie? Oh, geez. So I'm just adding some of these, like they're fake pearls. They're not real, not even close. Coming in and adding some pretty pearls into this mess. These are just beads I've had. I just kind of went through my stash of all the different beads, and I don't want two of the same color next to each other. And then just, you know, using them up. And I know some people like to put color on them, but I'm just leaving them as is and kind of building. So I want some more in here. A whole bunch in my hand. So some are gonna get tucked underneath. So you're just gonna see kind of a smattering of them. That's cool. You don't have to have them be super obvious. I've got some darker color ones I'm gonna throw in here. Sometimes just seeing it from a different angle. Flying bead. There we go. So making cards, sending people isolated. That's cool. I love that.
A person commented really like Lord of the Rings too.
My son's addicted to Lord of the Rings. I mean, he just, yeah, our whole family likes Lord of the Rings. I can't deny that. A lot of Lord of the Rings in his house, which is cool. I think this is too purple. So let's grab another lighter color. Great way to use up some of those fun things. What's up, Morgan?
I know it doesn't comment.
On what?
Lord of the Rings.
Ah.
And Tiffany has a comment on Lord of the Rings. It's
a good way to, like, I swear, right now is a great time to be like, yeah, I want to watch all these movies. Movie marathon time.
Oh, if you watch the Lord of the Rings movie back to back, it takes 24 hours.
The extended edition or like
the extended edition?
Ah.
It takes like 36 with the Hobbit movies too.
Oh, you're adding in the Hobbits? Or no? Oh, you weren't initially.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So adding in some more, like seriously, I'm just kind of plopping little beads in there. So you feel like I want to have something coming up here. I think we need another something or other.
Tiffany likes Marvel, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I like all of them too. Read all the books twice. Books are better than the movie.
All right, I have my little thing. Where'd I stick it? I had it. Where'd it go? My little. Oh man, seriously, it's probably right in front of my face and I cannot find it. There it is. Okay. It's my glue, upside down glue holder. So I don't have to keep worrying about my glue not being active. So I don't have to kind of wiggle it every time. So there it goes. All right. Now hold it up, see where I'm at. Is there anything where I feel like it needs a little bit more? Sometimes I got to tweak it. Now, obviously, you guys are watching this. You're into the whole mixed media thing. So what kind of mixed media? Do you like altering objects? Do you rather like doing journals, art journals? I mean, what do you like to, like scrapbook pages, going back to that? What kind of mixed media is everybody into? I will go back and read all these comments, by the way, just as a heads up. I'm weird like that.
So Jeffrey said, I am not a reader, but my son says the same thing. But the books are better when he was littler We took him to see the Hobbit. He dressed as Frodo.
That's pretty cool.
That is really good.
But Frodo's not really in the Hobbit that much. It's kind of like the wrong movie for Frodo.
True. It's more of a Bilbo story.
It's definitely a Bilbo story. All right. I think I need a couple more. Let's do this pretty one up here. So this is where you can really start getting lost into it and be like, I need to add more and I need to add more. And you could go on and on and on about all the fun things. And so you have to kind of hit yourself a stopping point, which I'm definitely going to hit a stopping point. And I'm going to pull this out because I'm done using it for now. And I'm going to pull out my wax again. Now I know not everything is kind of etched down, but I'm just going to hit my wax on my chipboard pieces, giving them a little bit of that gold. I could have done this before I popped them on. I like having a little bit of the white showing on them. So yeah, I totally could have done that. But now it's just, and if a little bit of the gold gets on some of the flowers, totally cool. So now they're all going to kind of have that same matching vibe. There's also this one in here. And I'll step away from some of my projects and maybe have like, you know, an hour and come back and go, oh, it needs something there, or it needs something there. So if you notice, I have a lot of supplies that I've kind of pulled. It doesn't mean I'm going to use everything. It's kind of a starting point for me about where I want to go. And I think I am almost there. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's not a little dressed up. See, it doesn't take that long. If you have all your supplies and you kind of already know the general direction, so we have time to do the purple, to do the bluey one. That's the purple and that's the pink. Pretty, pretty. And let's see, this is not quite dry yet, so I need to do a quick dry on this. All right, so we've got these little guys. I just think they're so pretty. I totally am going to put some sort of like, I don't know, something in them. Something's going to go in them. I'm not exactly sure. All right, now I'm going to pull out my paintbrush again, and I've already done my blues. So I've got a much darker blue. I might have to add some water to this. So I've got a very kind of a teal color blue, and let me show you the flowers that I pulled for this. These flowers are purely from my stash because I didn't have any colors that were from Little Birdie that were these colors. So I just went into my stash and I pulled flowers from, I'm a flower hoarder. I love flowers. So these are all the beautiful flowers that I've pulled, and they're from God knows where and when. I even found some of these really pretty sprays right here. So we're going to mess around with that. I love this one because it had the turquoise in there. So it's a very turquoisey vibe going on in here. But then there's kind of like the dark. I even found this really pretty gold one. So these are all the flowers that we're going to pull and add and create. And these are a section, so I can pull these apart as well. So this is that's the color scheme from there. And then I found some pretty blue gems. So here's some leftover. I'm going to move these over so I don't get them all messed up. There we go. So I found some pretty blue gems. I don't have as many, but I'm going to still pull some of these peachy ones, I think, or like the white ones. I'll add those in there as well. And then I have these little tiny seed beads here, so we might add them in there. I don't know. We might not be able to finish this. I got 20 minutes, but you get the idea. You've seen what it is. Now we're just going to do a different color. So we're going to start with the darker blue first. Get in here. What was this one? Other videos are going to be going on, but we also have the lawn to do today. So we are going to, my son's like, oh man, yes, we're mowing the lawn, Morgan. It's getting long and gross, and it's supposed to rain, I think, again later this week. So I'm really tucking in next to the edges of the rope it's following the same pattern. But so you can really have fun. I mean, you could do this in green, you could do this in yellow, you could do a couple of different colors with this concept. So I almost want to call this kind of like a mixed media for beginners in a way, in kind of a weird way. It's not, but it is. You can add some more water into this if you want to kind of dilute it a little bit. There's a lot of ways. And the colors I'm pulling again, I pulled some watercolor ink. These are all from Plaid as well. I did a color shift. I blended a couple of colors. And then this light one that we're going to do here in a minute, this is another folk art. So I just grabbed colors. I didn't really kind of care what kind of paint it was. Sometimes there were shimmery paints. If they were sprays, that's awesome. It really didn't matter to me. Any other comments or questions? Or don't forget to give me a timeline when we're about 15 minutes to the top of the hour, so we can draw our winner.
Well, it's in 4 minutes.
All right, so in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, remind me. All right. Oh, I need to add some lighter blue in there. So again, it looks pretty harsh when you first start out, and then you can kind of, you know, as you add all the layers to it and stuff, it gets kind of a little muted, and then you add the wax on top, and that helps, and you get all the different fun colors. So we're gonna have to come back in with some more of that teal because I did way too much the dark color. So we're gonna dry this. So I just kind of popped my head over and I saw somebody said, my favorite scene is where Gandalf says, "You shall not pass." Well, one Halloween, Morgan, the one who's moderating here, he dressed up as Gandalf, and he actually had made a wizard stick out of, well, so it was like an old tree stump that we inverted.
It looks just like it.
And it looks like it's a wizard staff. And so he was walking around, and of course he had to do the "you shall not pass." He didn't have the beard on or anything, but we had a wizard hat. It was actually like an old witch's hat that he was wearing. So it was black, and then he had the wizard robes. It was pretty good. He was pretty convincing, minus the beard. We could have given you a beard, but we didn't go that far. All right, so I'm just softening it up and kind of going back, and it's also blending it a little bit because it's not 100% dry. So it's just kind of coming up and blending. It's mixing with some of the fibers of the twine, which I think is so cool. So I think that's really fun. I didn't get any blue down here at the bottom. Oops.
1 minute.
1 minute until we, okay. So let's go ahead and start because I'm going to be doing my, huh?
Can I say it?
You want to say it?
Okay, the question for the giveaway is, what country are you from?
Oh, where are you watching us from? We'd like to hear. This is all the world of heart, so we want to know, where are you watching us from? I know I saw a couple people, so leave a comment about, and if you're in the U.S., like, where in the U.S. are you? Not just what country, but where are you? Where are you watching?
U.S., Michigan, USA, Sweden.
We had a lot of Canadians on last time.
Grungy.
Did you like that, Catherine? All right, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a little bit. I forgot to do the blue at the bottom.
Arizona, Vanway, Georgia, Carolina, USA, Michigan, Minnesota, Houston, Texas.
Houston, you're not far from us. We're in Austin.
Yeah.
We're in Texas.
Virginia, South Jersey Shore.
So in case you're wondering what you're actually putting your information down, Morgan's going to be doing a random draw. He's going to scroll up and touch the screen in a minute. I'm padding and getting color on here. So this is actually going to have a lot more color than the other one. I'm a blue girl. I love blue, so I don't mind going more blue on this. It's just fun. It's pretty. It's cool. And so you're going to get a prize pack of little Birdie products. So you could get some gesso. Every prize pack's could be a little different. So there's gesso, there's the flowers, there's the chipboards, there's the colors, the sprays, the waxes, all kinds of cool stuff. So lots of papers. So you never know what you're going to get. All right. So let me get my hand down. Lots of flowers, the butterflies. Oh, I didn't put a butterfly on the purple one. I may have to go back and add a butterfly later.
Add a butterfly.
You know, add a butterfly. Should I add a butterfly? All right, dry it up. I'm not talking while I'm doing this because I have no idea if you guys can hear me. So I figure at this point, you're really not going to be able to hear me over my heat gun. I could be wrong. All right, I'm going to wipe this down because it's got a lot of color on it. Well, you know what? It's all dried. I dried it in place. All right, it's not 100% set. I can't tell if it's coming off on my hands or not. It's pretty warm though. And I'm going to go ahead and add my wax. Now, what I'm going to do just to speed things up instead of doing the wax on everything, I'm going to decide what is my front. I'm going to call this my front. So I'm just going to do the front to the side, and I will go back and add the wax to the back side after, because we only have about 15 minutes.
Well, that's cool. So this person, Wendy Murray, lives right near where Rivendell took place.
Cool. Now it looks like it's a turquoise because it's got the white and, well, I mean, it's like the stone. It looks like the stone when I add this color in there. Very cool. So if you're near Rivendell, that means you're living in New Zealand. Very cool. What's it? Well, come over here, Catherine. You can smell it. I had a question I was going to ask as I'm sitting there drying like my thing, and I cannot remember what I was going to ask now. Sugar. What was it that I was going to ask? Give me 1 second. You can smell it. Let me just finish here. Fudgers. What was I going to ask? It's gone. Yeah. How many of you do that? You're like, I had that question.
I have a winner.
Morgan's got a winner. All right. Please announce who the winner is.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline who? Is there a last name? Oh, you wanted to smell that.
It just says Jacqueline.
Jacqueline A. Woohoo!
From Southern California.
From Southern California. Very cool. All right. So Jacqueline, I have a link I need you to fill in, and I'm going to pop it up on here real fast. So here you go, Jacqueline. So that is the link. I need you to go into that link, please, and fill in your information there if I can send off the box. I'm not sure how fast I can send the box out to you. We're kind of in lockdown around here, but I will get it out to you as soon as possible. It fills all kinds of good goodies. All right, so I will go back and I'll do the back side later. I mean, so just to see the front, here's the front side. And then when you add the wax, it really just kind of transform it. All right, so now we're gonna start building. So I don't have another half of a chipboard, so I gotta open up a new one. I love these chipboards, they're so pretty. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna build it to the right side again. I don't know why, I just like the right side. So just snip it. I'm gonna get my glue thing back again. I had a question. That's going to drive me bananas until I remember what the question is.
What were you thinking at the time?
I don't remember. That's my problem. I can't even go back to remember what my thought process was in that. It's gone. Oh my goodness. It's just like
happened to me before.
You've never lost. You're young. That's why you're young. Oh, I know. I was going to thank Morgan for helping me out today. That's what I was thinking. Don't forget to thank my son, Morgan, for helping be a moderator and answering questions and, you know, just kind of working with you guys. Oh, there was one. There it is. So I have one more little hinge. So I've already gessoed these guys as well. See, I had my plan. I had everything set to go. So I'm going to go ahead and add my hinges on here. So things to do. He's learning how to type and read and, you know, right now.
Amazing reader and typer.
You're an amazing reader and typer.
No, you know I'm an amazing reader. I read for fun.
He does. He's a big reader, which is coming in handy right now. Except his problem is he doesn't have a library to go to, because usually he'll read 2 or 3 books a week, and he doesn't have a way to go through.
I read a 403-page book in one day. And Penny, She
like?
said,
I read it.
thanks Gandalf, or I mean Morgan.
I read that. That's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm getting all my little bits down that I wanted to add. Again, I'm not really changing too much in terms of how I'm orientating this one. I'm having my lock, my key. It'll come in wax. I'm going to add my big flower in the center. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that little flower that's on there. I just love that turquoise. I think it's so pretty.
Kindle on the Kindle app on your phone.
He has tried watching or reading books on a Kindle, and you don't like it.
Very tired. Now, if I'm listening to it, it's fine. I did that with Ender's Game.
If you listen to it like an audiobook, yeah.
Yeah, I can do it with that. But if I actually read it like on a device, it makes me really tired.
Yeah, he doesn't like it as much, and I don't blame him. I like watching it on, or I like actually being able to.
My favorite book series.
Touch and hold the book. I'm going to go ahead and do this lock and the key right now and do the wax on them. What's your favorite?
One author that I really do like. I've read every single book he has. I own all of them. There. He's a really good fantasy guy. His name is Brandon Mull.
Yes, Morgan loves Brandon Mull.
He's good.
And Morgan's very excited about the new Artemis Fowl movie coming out.
Yes, that was a really good. Ian Colfer is another really good author.
But we're not sure how that's going to play out in terms of.
We'll rent it. I've read the entire book series of 9 books twice.
So, I mean, like some of the Disney movies, it's pretty cool. They're releasing it in terms of, I did this backwards. That was supposed to go there. It doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter how I'm doing this, but I'm like, something's not lining up the way I wanted it to. And I also am changing up. I have this really cool thing in here. This is a little bit different because I'm altering from what I'm originally playing with. So, 32. I'm not going to get done with this one by the time we're on here, but I will finish it and I will post this along with the pictures of the other 2 without being so. Everything's kind of whitewashed right now. So we'll definitely go in and I will finish these on my Instagram. So you'll see pictures on my Instagram and also on my Facebook channel. And they're all Erin Reed makes to get to all my social medias. So you guys can find those. So I'm going to double up the bottom ones here. So we're going to have that here, and I think I'm going to stick this guy. So I'm going to keep all of my wires on. You guys can see I have all my wires here. So it gives me kind of like a bigger foothold to put them on. And I think I'm going to do 2 at the bottom here. So again, lift this up, shove some more glue in there. You know, one thing I will have to say, and I think I'm not the only one who's probably thought of this, is that, oh, my little, see, this is how old they are. They're coming unstuck. The little bead in the center of here just came out. I'm hearing a lot more of nature happening. I hear birds more. I hear, and I know they were talking about how in different parts of the world, how there's like the air seems cleaner. Things are just, I love this. I just don't think it's going to work. Just things that they're around where they're at. Just something about the nature of the area is just really cool. And I'm in total agreement. I definitely think that I'm hearing more. The sounds around us is a lot, like, I don't know. There's not as much pollution, sound pollution traffic happening right now. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think things are coming?
Things are calming down. Global warming's not happening too much now.
I do like that gold one in there. But I think we're going to calm it down with a little bit of the wax on there. It's just too bright.
The only downside is there's a lot more light pollution.
There's what?
A lot more light pollution.
Oh, right now?
Yeah. Because everyone's at home.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of the wax to this gold one here, just because it looked like it was just a little too gold. Could just be me, though. And I'm also going to shift this guy down just a tiny bit.
Now I can see it.
And I have my glue holder right there. I'm not even using it. And I'm going to kind of tuck that into there. So I'm just playing around. So again, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this in 5 minutes. I'm going to get close. So Jessica is next. I'm going to do 2 little strands here. And Morgan, can you link who the next? Oh, you already see he's on top of it. He's so on top of it. Oh, because somebody did you do it because somebody mentioned it or because you had thought of it? What came first, the chicken or the egg?
I think Jessica's on here.
Is Jessica?
What's her link? What's her name? Like Matter of Crafts?
I'm not sure what her YouTube channel. I just had a name. I don't remember. Well, not that I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I don't remember my channel's names off the top of my head.
Oh, yep, she's on here.
I'm not. I don't have all those things. My brain can only take so many things in it at one time. So what are we thinking of the blue one so far? These are a little long. So this to me is just a little tad too long. So we're going to snip.
I like it long.
You like it long?
No,
Well, I think I liked one of them
I
long.
said I like it long.
Oh, you like it mom. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You have to do like it long.
Okay, I think I like this flower on top.
Oh my God.
What?
A person said, well, a person thought I was your husband.
No,
I am her son.
Yeah, he's my 14-year-old son.
Her oldest.
He's my kid.
I sound like an adult.
You have your moments. Depending on what you're talking about, yes.
Yep.
But you're pretty good. All right, so I'm going to add some more fun stuff. So I know we're almost at the end. Thank you guys so much, everybody. I really, truly appreciate it. If you could give this channel or this video a thumbs up, I would love if you subscribe to me. Obviously, not necessary if you don't want to. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tiffany, for coming in and for starting this whole event. I'm going to kind of stop twiddling. I'm going to show you all three of them real fast, side by side. So here we go. We've got our 3 different colors. This one's not done yet. I'm not done messing with it yet, but you get the idea. So take an item, definitely alter it, add to it, pull out some of your twines and your ribbons. Gesso is your best friend in terms of like adding layers of color on top of it. And so there you can, and then don't feel like you have to cover, I mean, this is just me, but don't feel like you have to always cover up everything. Keep some things the way they are, like keep your beads and your little bits and bobs and the colors. If they match within the colors, then use them. Yes, Morgan. Loose.
I'm just going to say right now, thank Tiffany for hosting this event.
Yes, exactly. Love that. Yeah, I mean, this is the 2nd year we've done it. Happy to come back and do it again. I think it's fun. I love doing lives. I do have a live card making. I do almost every Wednesday, barring. I have asked you to come and help me, Goofy.
All the days were school days.
Well, on Wednesdays are school days, but I've had couple others. But yes, guess what? You're home on Wednesdays now, so you can come and help me. Dun, da, da. So you guys are off to Jessica next. So if you will make sure to pop on over, leave some love to her. Thank you guys so much. If you didn't get a chance to see all the people behind in the video hop, most of us, I think all of us have a link to who is behind us in the previous hop and then who is yet to come. I'm kind of right smack in the middle. So you still have a lot of the day left to go and some fun channels. I'm just going to keep adding stuff to mine because I'm here and I want to play. There is definitely something to be said for art therapy. You get kind of sucked into your project and you want to be a part of the project, and you kind of forget some of the other mess that's happening. I definitely am a proponent to don't sit in front of your computer or TV and watch the news because you're going to get depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down, if you keep watching all that's happening, not that you shouldn't be aware of what's happening, but I don't think you just need to be engrossed in it 24/7. I think you need to step away and do something else. Create some art. Go and, if you have a backyard, step outside. If you've
Watch
got,
Lord of the Rings.
like my son's doing, watch Lord of the Rings. Immerse yourself into another world for a little bit. Just kind of step away from all of it. I think it's awesome.
Do puzzles.
So I do have a quick question before we sign off. We already had our winner. Thank you so much. Who was our winner again?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. So congratulations to Jacqueline. Don't forget to leave a comment on this video after it's gone live for a chance to win another prize pack from Little Birdie, which are a lot of the pink flowers, the gessos, and some of the other fun good stuff. But I do have a question. Which color do you like better?
A lot of
Do you
say,
have?
A lot of people say earlier purple.
You like the purple? You like the pink? Or you like the blue?
I say love them all.
I'm a blue girl.
News is not allowed in my home. It says L.P. red flower.
News is not allowed. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's.
This is blue. All purple, one of each. Blue,
don't make us choose.
Wait, what is that one?
Somebody said, "Don't make us choose."
Oh, it took 13 hours to watch the extended edition. Oh, there must be 24 hours with The Hobbit.
So I'm going to keep fiddling with this one, but like I said, I'll have a final picture. Please don't forget to jump over to Jessica's next. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe this video. Thumbs up would be awesome. And I will be on the chats the rest of the day on and off. And bye, everybody.
I mean,